Yo, what's up guys? You got PokeaimMD here, and Merry Christmas, but I have my first Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle versus Sharpedo 43. Now, it's been a while since I commentated a Wi-Fi battle, so bear with me as I'm going to try and do these more frequently. So, we play Sharpedo 43, like I said. He does have a rain team with Hawlucha. Hawlucha is probably the biggest threat to my team. I built my team on stream, and what I want to do with these Wi-Fi battles is I don't want to use anything super standard. Whether I'm playing OU, Ubers, doesn't matter the tier. I want to use teams that are fun, but also have synergy. So, this team I built on my stream, and my Talonflame checks is Kartana. It can also check Hawlucha depending on how lucky I am, because I am running Flame Body and not Gale Wings, since Gale Wings was nerfed. But I figured because he is running a rain team, Silent would be my best lead. I do have Water Absorb. I can get up rocks early, and Pelipper will most likely be his lead as well, since he wants to get up the rain immediately. It benefits his team, weakens my fire type attacks, makes Swampert faster than me. So we're going to go for Stealth Rock right here as he goes for U-turn. Now, I was willing to risk him being a Specs Pelipper only because if he was like Specs or anything, he would only have 4 turns of rain left, which means that Mega Swampert is less of a threat. I'm more so worried about Hawlucha because I feel like in the late game, it can put in a lot of work versus me. So I get up my Stealth Rock here as he U-turns out into Ferrothorn. This is fine because I do have a Swords Dance Decidueye in the back, which I am going to go directly into right now. And I knew that even if he had knockoff on Ferrothorn, he wouldn't be able to 2-hit KO me because I am running a Z move. Also, I would avoid Leech Seed right there. And he might also be thinking that I am a Defog variant. And if I was a Defog variant, I understand his play right here because knockoff would be able to 2-hit KO a Leftovers Defog variant. And on top of that, he really couldn't switch in well to Decidueye at all, which is why I actually chose to SD. Like if I went for Leaf Blade, obviously, Pokemon like Pelipper and Swampert wouldn't appreciate it. If I went for Spirit Shackle, I'd be able to weaken Kartana. And even though he does have a Rocks now, I still have Talonflame in the back as well as a full HP Landorus. So I'd be able to at least pivot between a Kartana. But I do know that a +2 Sinister Arrow Raid will be able to knock out Ferrothorn. It is like 97% minimum. So we'll be able to get rid of Ferrothorn right here, which is great because this is his hazard setter. Because he did set up Stealth Rock, I know that his Swampert is more than likely running Power Up Punch now. Or maybe something weird like Stone Edge if it is like an NJMP variant. But he goes directly out to Lele. Seeing as how rain is up, my Scarf Jirachi is a great switch in. Even if this is Specs Lele, HP Fire won't do much. Psychic won't do the biggest amount to me because I do resist, and obviously I can eat up a Moonblast. But throws off a Psychic as that looks to be Specs damage. I'm not 100% sure. Because I do 4 times resist, but that did a lot. Now, this is a really odd play on his part. I did not want to risk U-turning because if he goes for Psychic again, predicting me to U-turn, he nabs a kill easily. So I went right for Iron Head as he goes directly into Hawlucha. Now, the reason I said that was an odd play is because, again, this thing in the late game could have very well swept me, but by him going into it this early on an Iron Head, I'm assuming he expected me to go for U-turn. And the fact that the Psychic Seed boosts special defense and not physical defense means that Hawlucha takes a ton, and I can just go directly out into my Rocky Helmet and Landorus and deal with this Mon. Very good play on his part going for Acrobatics, but I feel like if he was going to predict me to switch out into Landorus, he should have just went for SD. But I guess at the same time, he would not have been able to take 2 HP Ices anyway, and he still would have gotten 2 Rocky Helmet hits off on me. So basically, +1 Acrobatics would not have been able to knock out my Landorus. So I'm able to knock him out with the HP Ice, and thankfully I changed the Landorus right before the battle. If this was like a max speed Damp Rock Pelipper, I'm faster than that, so I can go right for the default. Getting rid of these rocks, they are no longer here. My Talonflame is freed up in the back, and on top of that, he just goes right for U-turn, which I can stand by for sure because it gives him the free switch into Swampert. I already showed HP Ice, I showed Rocky Helmet. I probably, there was a small chance that I had something like Stone Edge just based on standard sets, and this does give him the free Mega Evolution with Swampert. Now, again, because Ferrothorn did go for the Stealth Rock, I know that this thing has the chance to have Power Punch, and Stealth Rock would not be one of its other moves. So I want to stay in with my Landorus just to get off an Earthquake in case he opts to go for Power Punch, because that would mean that he takes 2 turns of Rocky Helmet on top of Earthquake, and we'll put him at around half or a little bit less. But goes right for Ice Punch just to knock me out. Smart play, again, because I did have Seismitoad in the back with the Water Absorb. That was just his best play. So we'll go out to Seismitoad. I know that I do take 1 Earthquake for sure. If he's Jolly, I could take 2. If he's Adamant, it's 2-hit KO always. If he's Jolly, it's about a 50-60% chance to 2-hit KO me. Because of my EV spread. So I throw off a Scald right here just to get off damage for my Buzzwole in the back, which I know can reliably revenge kill this thing. But he does bring in his Talonflame, or excuse me, he brings in his Kartana on the Scald. Takes so much. I'm able to bring in my Talonflame. Do not care about the rocks. Reveal sub, so I was a little paranoid about like a sub SD timid set with like max HP or something, and though that set wouldn't really have the most moves to abuse, and my Talonflame has 0 attack investment, it's mainly on the team for Decidueye as well as checking Kartana. And as you see right there, Talonflame gets the flame body, which is great because I'm able to pretty much just stop Kartana from being a threat. And because I do have Scarf Jirachi in the back, which is faster than Lele, that's the end game I'm going for, with Jirachi clicking Iron Head versus Lele. But goes for Leaf Blade. Now I could easily knock him out. I could very easily knock him out right here with Brave Bird after the burn. However, because my opponent does have a Damp Rock on Pelipper, I just want to stall that out. He actually ends up going for the all-out pummeling this turn, I believe. And it's going to do a lot considering I lose my flying type due to the Roost. It does do a lot, and also considering the Kartana is burnt. But at the same time, I got what I wanted out of the turn. Basically, because Talonflame is faster than Pelipper, it's faster than Swampert outside of Rain, and I do have the Will-O-Wisp to threaten something like Swampert. As long as Rain is gone, Talonflame can put in some nasty work. Now, like I said, I'm not sure though if that is Specs or Scarf Lele. I didn't bother calcing during the game, and I haven't used Scarf Jirachi in a little bit. But like I said, the point of this was to make sure that Rain ends in the following turn. Now, because I know that Rain ends this next turn, I'm actually going to pull the switch out into Decidueye. This is more so about positioning. If he went for a Leaf Blade there, and then he brought in Pelipper, I could go for sub, get an overgrow while Pelipper does not break my sub with U-turn, and basically get off an overgrow boosted Leaf Blade. So that was more so positioning to scare out the Swampert and to scare out Pelipper for coming out, or to even get some damage off on Pelipper. But he brings, what the hell was I saying? He brings in Lele. Because Rain is gone, I don't want to risk my Jirachi on an HP Fire, as he actually ends up going right for that. So I'm able to bring in my Talonflame right there. It was the least expendable member, or the most expendable member, rather, this turn, and it means that I do get to go for Brave Bird and either 2 KO something like Lele / Pelipper, or get off a good chunk of damage on the Swampert, and even potentially burn it with a Will-O-Wisp if I do manage to land. So brings out Pelipper right here. Again, Talonflame was my best mid-ground prey, but at the same time I was also willing to stack it. I couldn't risk Jirachi because I need Jirachi to knock out the Lele with Iron Head. I do have a Buzzwole in the back at full HP, which does check Swampert, but Lele can knock me out with Psychic, and I basically... Lele is faster than my entire team if it's Scarf, and if it's Specs, Talonflame still doesn't knock it out, and Psychic will OHKO me. Like, it doesn't matter, Psychic will knock me out. So I'm able to 2-KO the Pelipper right there as he is going to bring a Swampert. My best play right now is just stay in and click Will-O-Wisp. Basically, if he goes for Power Up Punch, predicting me to go Seismitoad, it does not matter because that will not knock out Talonflame, and after that he has to go for another attack to knock me out, and on top of that he has to dodge a Will-O-Wisp. So that would give me 2 opportunities to burn him with Flame Body and the chance that Will-O-Wisp does connect. So I sack Talonflame there to bring out my Seismitoad. At this point I kind of want to go for Toxic. Main reason is if he goes for Earthquake right here, I know that Scald will not knock him out, and again, Buzzwole in the back puts in a lot of work. Also, him revealing Aqua Tail means that he cannot flinch Buzzwole. So as long as Swampert is just chipped away at with Toxic slowly but surely, I know that Buzzwole can just go for Leech Life, knock out Swampert with the poison damage. And I also didn't want to risk Scald not burning. Though Scald would do a good chunk, it wouldn't do enough for Leech Life to KO him, and I wanted to make sure that my Buzzwole was always going to be an answer in the back. So speaking of Buzzwole, he actually predicted it right there, which is why he went for Aqua Tail. That was a good play, and I understand why he made it because he is in the back. At this point, he only has 2 Pokemon, while I have 4. And he has to try and make some sort of prediction to win the game. But because I know that Buzzwole guaranteed takes the Aqua Tail from Swampert, I'm not going to risk it. So I stay in, go for Scald, get an unfortunate crit, as I'll be able to throw off another Scald right here. He actually switches directly into Lele. Good play because his Earthquake would not be able to knock out my Seismitoad, and Lele does knock me out with the Specs Psychic. So, very good play. It does confirm that he's Specs right now. I mean, again, the damage on Jirachi kind of showed that he was Specs anyway, but for him to knock out my Seismitoad in terrain, he has to be Specs. So, knocks out my Seismitoad, but at this point, I can go directly out to Jirachi and just click Iron Head. Iron Head will be able to knock out Lele, and it will also be able to knock out the Swampert. He actually switches into Swampert, which I understand as well. Basically, he has to hope it could take it, plus the poison, and try and knock me out with Earthquake, but that's not the... That's not going to happen at all, especially because of the crit from Scald. So this crit did matter in that regard. But at the same time, Rain did end, so I could just switch out to Decidueye, sack it, and then come back in with Jirachi and U-turn into Buzzwole, or go just hard into Buzzwole and just click the Leech Life at this point, because that would be able to knock out the Swampert as well as Lele coming in. But we ended up winning that game. Like I said, I feel like Hawlucha could have been played a little bit better. basically saving it more for endgame. Just all you needed was a little bit of turns of Stealth Rock on Lanturns, which you were guaranteed to get because this is my defogger for Talonflame, which I didn't need in this game. But either way, it was a good game. Good games to Sharpedo 43. I hope you guys all enjoyed. I will be streaming really late tonight, guys. So Merry Christmas. Really, really late. Just keep an eye on Twitter. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, friends.